Okay. We're just gonna assume all this is working, which is always the worst assumption with YouTube. But either way, hi, how are you? Welcome, Joseph. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to be painting some Sepulchral Guard tonight for Shadespire. Last several weeks, I've been working on Thorns of the Briar Queen, and they're mostly done. I'll show you my queen in a second here. Just finished sending out little linkies. Alright, and sure. Hope everyone's having a good evening, enjoying their summer so far, and getting some rest. Painting up the Sepulchral Guard for Shadespire tonight. It's one of those words you always have to keep double checking. Sepulchral. Yes, good. Thank you. Okay, so for those of you who've been following, here is my Queen of the Briar Thorn. I finished her the other day. Hey Joseph, how are you doing tonight? Welcome from Florida. Oh my gosh, the humidity levels there must be insane. Here, let's see, there we go. I'm quite happy with how she turned out. It's hard to tell the colors, but these are like the lavender purple flowers. And I'm really happy with how the skull turned out, and the little gold pieces and the details on the back here. Really kind of worked out. So that I can say is finally done. So let's work on some deadites. Good evening from the country of Indy. Hi Jason, how are you? All right, that has been posted. Cool. All right. So, Sepulchral Guard, more dead things. I actually pulled a general image of sort of what I'm looking to do here. So you can kind of see the basic color scheme I'm gonna go with. So, when in doubt, I just paint the box art. You know. Hey Paul, how are you doing? Thanks for joining and staying up like super late to do that. Atomic Topher, welcome. Oh, Rothan, sorry, I missed you, Mr. Fairman. Welcome. So, are you guys working on anything tonight? You just hanging out and watching, or are you also going to be painting? I see how far we can get in about 2 hours. Douglas, welcome. Hello, welcome to the stream. Samuel, welcome. Jason, good. I thought I was on my other account. Sorry. When you make your own wash, and it's better than GW's. It's fair. I've never tried to make my own wash, so, well, have I? That's not true. I guess I did make a purple sort of wash out of the purple paint, but it's, I don't think I do a particularly good job at it. All right, so deadites. They are skeletons, and they're gonna be painted eventually in my beautiful craft paint of antique white. But first we're going to base coat with some nutmeg brown because, you know, they're dirty skeletons. There's dirt and grime in there. So we're gonna do that first. Devin painting some Chaos Marauders. Sounds fun. Joseph painting Corn War Mammoth. Ooh, neat. Animus. Sepulchral Guard are some of the best sculpts from GW in recent years. I really like this guy, but we'll go over all of them. Next time I head to the shop, I'll get the Wife Dwarf with Kill Team Demon rules and some Demonettes, then do some painting. That's fair. I'm building 2 Gundam kits and painting one. Nice. Love Skelly is working on the 40k equivalent right now. Like Necrons? Joseph, when you want a Chaos War Mammoth, but they stopped the production on it, and they need one more. Well, there's eBay, there's ChinaCast, there's Thingiverse. I don't know. If they discontinued it, then get it however you need to get it, I think. All right, enough styling. Let's get to painting, shall we? Have you found those paints don't blend well? Probably, but I don't really blend my paints, and to think if I've really ever had to. I've blended some of like the pink purples on the flowers for my queenie here, but it's really hard to see the purple in this light. It's a little easier to see it down here. And that ended up being a bit of a blend, so I guess I didn't really have a problem with it, but I wasn't doing a lot of blending. Greetings all from Kansas. Welcome, Dennis. I'm painting some Sisters Davidian from Raging Heroes. Wait a minute. Let me look those up because I think I know what you're talking about. Sisters Davidian. Oh my gosh. Image. Okay, so those are like the Repentia equivalent. Oh my gosh, I saw well, I'm sure everybody did. This week they announced the Repentia models, and I think Raging Heroes is going to do very well for themselves as a result. Country Gaming. Okay, switch to my other account, PC instead of the tablet. Welcome. Not working on them right now, but I do have some undead on my workbench for the Mordheim campaign I'm running. Nice. So many people still play Mordheim. It's impressive. Alright, and me just painting out the cap here. Hello from Ohio. Hey there, Bill. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Oh god, these guys are so teeny tiny. Like, look at their tiny little thin bones, and I love these guys so much. They made me so happy when I pulled them out. And this guy's holding a scythe, obviously, like, taller than he is. 4 warbands, 3 players in mine. Okay. Well, you know, I've definitely got a few friends who are super into the Mordheim campaign stuff. I haven't done it, but there's a bit of a commitment of time to it. Joseph, Old GW inks, 1/4 bottle of chestnut ink, 1/4 of Chaos Black, and 2/4 or half of brown ink. I guess that's the ingredients for a wash. Paul, I bought some of those GW Hex paint trays today after hearing if you spell contrast paint, you'll never get it out. Raging Heroes, Jules. They have got such beautiful models. I have their jailbirds that I'm going to have as part of my Catachan army. It's going to be so good. But, yeah. Did you guys all see the Repentia sculpts? Like, did you have any feelings one way or the other on them? Because, I don't know. I've really been enjoying the models thus far, and then the Repentia. And admittedly, I didn't really care about Repentia when in the original sculpts anyway. So I wonder if they're going to give them, like, these insanely good rules in order to, like, convince people to buy them. I don't know. GW wouldn't do that, right? Brown skeletons. Gotcha. Binary Ghost. Glad I caught this. Love your Warmer Hordes battle ports. You have the Sepulchral Guard too that you need to start. Well, there you go. No time like the present, good sir. That's a bit of a reason for doing the live streams. One, I'm planning to get some games actually on the live stream, but my light setup's just taking a while. And then it's finally nice to get some painting in. It's hard to make time, you know? Unless you're meeting up on a routine basis and meeting up with friends or something and you have a group going for that, it is hard to just set aside time and paint. So this has been the only time I get to paint is with you guys. So thanks for hanging out. I much appreciate it. Please yell this? Maybe. I'll think about it. That is an awfully chaotic thing to say, and I am a girl of the Imperium. Hate to get caught for heresy. Working on my last drudge of 8. They look like they could be in a SpongeBob episode. Tennis shoes are the only thing I don't like. Are they wearing tennis shoes? I do like the Repentia chainswords. That's fair. But that's a weapon, you know, that's gonna look probably the same on most of the models, right? If they're running around with a chainsword, I don't think there's a Godwin Diaz version of a chainsword, is there? I don't know, maybe. But I don't think so. I use Vallejo and some of the new Citadel. I just bounce back and forth between what I have. I've had craft paints for, we'll say, quite a long time. And I've replaced some of it out for GW, and I think I've got a Vallejo or two overall. I just paint with what I have. Because at the end of the day, you just gotta get some paint on some models so you can play with these things. So I haven't been too terribly picky. Although there are several models too that I have my friend Flo paint, and she uses Vallejo and Citadel, and she's, you know, much more fancy about it. I'm gonna get his foot there. Alright, so that is a cloak he's got on. Looks like all these fools, let me double check the image here, I think they all wear red. Yeah, red loincloths, mostly. Oh, that guy's got like a leather thing. Okay, I guess so. When you collect Space Marine Skitarii, and then Chaos for Age of Sigmar. Yeah. I guess that's what you're doing, good sir. So Age of Sigmar doesn't count in my book. Like, I'm really enjoying my little undead dudes, even though traditionally I would probably play, say the, the guard guys. My gosh, why can't I remember their name? But, it's like you can almost slum it when you're playing a game that you're not as dedicated to. So you can try more things. And you're like, well, maybe I want to play with the dead guys. They seem fun. Oh, rat people, they seem fun. I got his rib cage in here. That's a weird blend of the model into the skeleton there. Have you ever been intimidated by a miniature before? In celebration of not smoking for about 3 weeks, I bought a detachment of knights, and now I look at them going, oh boy. There is currently still a Stormlord sitting downstairs on my assembler rack that I have not touched. So yes, I have definitely been intimidated. Because, you know, you don't want to mess it up, especially when you invest like a lot of money into a particular model and you have it in your head that it's going to look so amazing, but really what you've done is taken on a project that's going to test you. And so you almost have to really prepare yourself for that. Paul, I think you were experiencing a little bit of that, but you're braver than I am because you've actually started, right? Were you working on Abaddon? Abaddon? I don't know how you say it. I look at the box art and do the total opposite. Oh, well, there you go. I took old High Elf Dragon and made it Chaos. Blood for the Blood God. Have you used Apple's metallicized paints? I guess I used the folk art metallics. They've been fine. Honestly, the metallic golds and silvers have worked great for me. Really have no complaints. They probably have better coverage, honestly, than their normal paints. Alright, let's get his arms there. And his face. You need some brown on you, man. There we go. And I'm painting the new Abaddon. Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculously detailed. That model looks crazy. And, you know, you spend quite a bit of money just to get the model, and then you see online and you look at what other people are doing, and they've done this beautiful work, and that's why I generally stick to the box art, because I'm pretty good at making something look like something else. But if I were to get it in my head that I really needed a different look, or I wanted to go with a specific theme, then I have to plan that out more carefully, because I just can go overboard. I don't have the most amazing aesthetic sense in that regard. Alright, Let's get his face. There we go. Just squish that paint all over his face. There we go. Good job. Happy little skeletons. Oh, happy little deadites. You know, since you like painting so much, how about you paint my 60 shooter boys? Give me a can of green spray paint. I'll get them done. I did not always enjoy painting. Most of the time I actually really avoided it, so this is something I grew into, honestly. Like, to chill out and enjoy other aspects of the hobby. Because it can, I don't know, it can be really time consuming to also think of theory craft for playing lists or setting up games, and that can take a while, and scheduling it with other people and all that. Like there's a lot more social pressure to handle the gaming side that I don't think needs to exist on the painting side. Like at the end of the day, you can just hang out by yourself and paint a model. You don't need an opponent. And so it's been kind of like this sort of low investment way of relaxing and actually getting models painted. So proud of myself for that. Let's see if I can keep hitting in focus. There we go. So to go to Valhalla, do you need an invitation? You don't. I run a Kickstarter for it every year, so you just need to be, you can buy the tickets through there, and then after the fact, you can reach out to me via email to either get on a waiting list if you're looking for a room or bunk, in the event somebody needs to drop, for example, or you can get like a day pass if you want to stay off site somewhere. And I think there might be a few left, so you can just send me an email at the wargamergirl at Gmail if you want more info on that. Yeah, but it's not invitation only. It's pretty, like, anybody can come if they want. Ooh, I'm missing some of the chat now. Congratulations, Country Gaming, on winning their tournament. Let's see, I think I'm into cash, not intimidating. 50 Chaos Warriors, 2 Giants, War Mammoth, 60 Bloodletters, 10 Chosen Knights. Oh my gosh. Just compartmentalize that into like a weekly goal. What's good players? I mean, just anybody who's pleasant to play with, I would argue. GW stuff is expensive. My buddy bought 3 Forge World Titans they're currently working on. Yes. Zach Spore and Miranda, I just killed my first can of Citadel Primer and Citadel Spray for my Imperial Fist today, and it felt good. Once I get to 2K, I'm eyeing Minoth. Any thoughts? Minoth, let's see, with the Mark III change, they used to be super jack heavy. They can still do a lot with jacks. They've brought in a lot of paladin stuff. It's gonna really depend on your taste. You might check out War Room if you have it, because there's really good ways of building lists from there. And the other thing is, if you're looking at getting into Menoth after a certain period of time, like you're wanting to get your 40k army off the ground, and we're talking months down the road, my answers for Menoth right now probably won't be very good, because they are always updating and changing some stuff. Chronic Toast, hey there! I sent you an email, by the way. Currently painting a runt bot for my orcs, Buzzgob after that, and then weapons for my flash kits. Oh, Country, are you? Oh no. I'm sorry that you're stuck with, like, just limited to summer. Will you sell custom dice with your logo on the 6th? Is that something people are actually interested in? I do have a pretty cool logo, so I guess that makes sense. But so far I haven't set that up. Although I guess with Chessex you can kind of, that was a recent prime, he didn't come out very easy. Alright, who's the other guy? Ooh, club guy. Another club guy. I don't know, maybe. It'd be kind of fun. Wowzers, hello, I'm here. Wow, you go. Or, I'm so sorry. I'm never gonna not call you that. Norn! I was listening to a Luton video the other day and I was learning about the Norn Queens and the Tyranid army. They sound terrifying. And I think you should change your name. Obviously, I have that authority, right? Alright, thank you very much, Toast. Appreciate that. Yeah. Green spray paint is your friend, for sure, on the orcs. Most definitely. Use bone color, not white. Yes. I've had ivories as far as the paint, like an off-white color. You get a little bit of like an ivory cream color going on with it against like a nice burgundy flag. Oh, it looked just fabulous. But painting white is kind of a pain, at least with the paints I've got, because you have to layer it a lot to get it to look right. Otherwise you see the brush strokes and all that. I definitely buy dice with airplane art Wargamer Girl 6s on them. Alright. Well, I can check it out. If I've got the vector art for it, it would be pretty simple to do. Need to look into that. Actually, I still have the vector art from when I made the pin. Alright, so we're gonna get his little upper thigh there because his cloth is covering the front, but it's not covering the back. Skeleton barely running around with clothing. Just absurd. Random chaos noise, says Dave from Mini Wargaming Down. Yes. He's been doing a lot of giveaways. Actually, I think they were doing a Warcry giveaway, or they were announcing it earlier. Are you guys gonna get into Warcry? I haven't looked into it. I was all excited because I finally got a bunch of stuff for playing Shadespire, and then GW's like, oh, by the way, here's our new game. I'm like, yay. I don't know. Blackstone Fortress, I haven't gotten into that one yet either, but Paul, I know you've enjoyed it, and it has more of an RPG element to it, right? And I think Warcry is supposed to do that. You've got your armies going from battle to battle. They've really been exploring this sort of pseudo RPG element to it. I guess it's working out well for them. I'm sure a bajillion people have pre-ordered Warcry, you know what I mean? Oh, good. Well, quite a few. Some people not so happy. Keegan. Is it just like game saturation for you, or does it just not look fun or interesting as far as Warcry? Inquiring mind wants to know. Blackstone Fortress has a slow but constant set of expectations that have been trickling out. Constant sets. Oh, expansions. I see. But they're not super impressing people. Like, so how many people in here like have generally played RPGs? And if you have, do you think that whenever you have a game in an RPG, whenever you guys play, is it important to you to have combat every session? Because that's what I think of when I see Blackstone Fortress, to an extent, and Mordheim even, where all of the RPG growth elements are solely based on combat. And I guess getting objectives, which is still combat based, so I don't know. It seems fun, but a tad on the limiting side. We are having a big Kill Team day next week at the store. And Warcry released, so we're going to wait till they stop hogging the tables and get back to Kill Team. Kill Team's going strong, though. That one, I guess people have not gotten tired of it all. I don't blame them. Like, Kill Team will be fun. And Sisters are supposed to eventually get it. And I guarantee you, it's going to be all Repentia. They're going to make the rules really good. you have to buy those hideous things. And, I digress. Game saturation and a diminished wallet. Those are both very valid. My sympathy there, man. You've got to sort of prioritize at the end of the day. It's not a cheap hobby. Pronounced Kaken. Sorry. Thank you. Kaken. Kaken? It's not. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Oh my god. All right. Where was I? Chat. Disappeared on me. There we go. Haha. Have played the RPG. Have played an RPG. Combat's not important in most settings, as long as you get the big three. Puzzles, combat, diplomacy are usually good to go. Mikey, there's some level of narrative RPG in Warcry. It's not as elaborate as Kill Team or Necromunda, but it's still there. Okay. Country gaming I have depends on the game. I've played some really fun Shadowrun games where we rarely got into combat. And in COC right now, we do not want combat in it. Okay. Blackstone Fortress, you do half combat and half challenges. Huh, okay. Zach Spore, and as a designer, I think GW is really hitting a good portion of the segment that companies, that Wizards and Paizo are ignoring. Oh, like a demographic that Wizards and Paizo are ignoring. Yeah, probably. Because it's not the same as playing just your typical RPG. I feel like a lot of the RPGs have, I don't know, they seem like they've moved kind of passive to be more passive. And so I could see where Blackstone Fortress and Kill Team, although admittedly my games of Kill Team have not been RPG games, because I didn't grow from any of them, but I can see that appealing to a different group of people. You have so many options now as a gamer, and you don't even, like, you can find pretty much exactly what you want to play anymore, as long as you know where to look, of course. Go to your friendly local gaming store and get some recommendations. Or Reddit and learn that the internet is mean. Let's see. Okay, fair enough. Japanese. I'll just blame that. Like, I will just blame that. Obviously, you're telling the truth. And even if you don't buy the starter set for Warcry, there are fighter cards you can buy in non-chaos warbands that are playable. A pack of fighter cards is only $8. Okay. My goodness, Joseph, you're being so aggressive in chat. You have to calm yourself. No, none of us are really a fan of Tau, but they're a civilization too. Supposedly. That might have cheated to get ahead in technology, but whatever, you know, to each his own. Alright, work on these two dudes. Oh, of course I picked the armies that have the most models. Why do I do these things? Get a little arm bit there. Okay, catch up with the chat again. Core rulebook's $40, which is normal. Yeah, I mean that seems to be about what you can expect to pay for any of the core rulebook stuff for any new game these days. Or it's available for free. Companies seem to go back and forth between those two, but I'm sure GW is just fine charging the $40. That was you? Oh my gosh, Kagan, I have them. I haven't done anything with them other than kind of look in awe at them. Let's see. Played Shadowrun and Cyberpunk as well as Mutants and Masterminds. Okay. Skirmish is more approachable in RPG in my opinion. Well, there's fewer rules. I mean, I guess fewer stats to keep up with, right? Because in a full RPG, you're you're having to track a lot of stats and skill points and stuff. I don't know how simplified some of it became. I mean, D&D 4th edition was pretty simplified. And the RPG doesn't really overwhelm you with stats either. So, depends on what you get into. But you also need a DM who's going to have an exceptional amount of knowledge on the game to maneuver you through the adventure, and skirmish games probably don't require that level of dedicated GM, right? Inyakai, welcome. The fact that Wizards depends on third-party companies and vendors like WizKids, smaller publishers, is a weakness that GW doesn't have. They have a more complete operation and shows. Yeah, they're able to do a lot of stuff in-house, just across the board. As long as everyone showers, a gaming club is great. I mean, that really applies to probably most social engagements. All right, country at Colin, playing both for decades. I will say they are not the same itch for me. RPG deals with the emotions of the characters, while skirmish is more about the success of the group. More blood for the blood god. Oh my gosh. Horde armies are my weakness. Tyranids, orcs, Genestealer cult, Soviets in bolt action, Doom Kings. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're gonna be overwhelmed with models for the rest of your life there. Chronic. Colin, agreed. I guess it's like apples and oranges. Yeah, I mean, but you can play both. I mean, you can just play whatever you fancy on any given weekend or week. Heard a rumor that Doom Kings are coming back. Ooh. My personal belief is that GW created Tau to appeal anime fans not involved in GW gaming, just to stir interest in that crowd. Maybe. They've been around longer than the full-on anime craze, I think. So, if they did, they got started really early, if that was the reason. Tau was 40k Gundam. Yeah. A lot of factions do that. If you play War Machine, I would argue that the Retribution of Syra do that as well. It's just your aesthetic appeal. You're always wanting to kind of gather different types of audiences, and you want to make sure that your models and armies look distinct from each other. It's where historical war games, while they're super fascinating and really interesting games, probably don't have as much of a strong initial appeal, because at the end of the day, they're all just humans. And yeah, they've got different uniforms and they've got different styles of tanks, but it's so much more like real warfare that your differences are coming down to the details instead of something major like, I have psychic powers, or something like that. Okay, so a lot of people here. You guys have all played, like many of you have played RPGs. Appreciate you pointing out what you guys think are the differences. I agree with you as far as the group dynamic I still feel applies on a RPG level a lot too, and at least as much as it does in a skirmish. Because with a skirmish, you're almost testing tactics, like when you play Final Fantasy Tactics versus just Final Fantasy. That would be how I would compare it, more so. This guy is just basically naked, my goodness. Tie the bones, Tomb Kings. GURPS was awesome. Wow. Yes, there you go. I never played GURPS. Is about Sepulchral Guard still relevant in Night Vault? I've never played Night Vault, only Shadespire. I assume so. I haven't had a chance to play with them yet. I was running around with the Thorns of the Briar Crane, and now I'm going to give these guys a shot, but I don't know. I'll probably be fine. I'm not too worried about them. They should have Slaves to Darkness cards for Warcry. Oh. I just dislike Tau because of kill team players spam me with drones. Well, you know, you do, it works. I'm done with Signar for War Machine. Time to burn Khador. I'm burning An old Widowmaker. Why? My goodness, so just go back to your blood for the blood god statements. We don't need to bring Kador into this. They didn't do anything. Like, unless you read the lore. Are any of you guys still following the Iron Kingdoms lore, or is everyone here 40k or Games Workshop fans? More so. And get his head there. And then we'll start painting over it with the bone color. Antique white. Stormcast, Daughters of Cain, and Ideneth are the 3 order warbands. Okay, so Stormcast Eternals I've got. Don't have the Daughters of Cain. There's a lot of freaking factions for Shadespire. It's actually a little overwhelming. I've got oodles at this point. I really don't need... Like, I don't have them all, but I've got plenty to start at this point. Just need to get my light rate going. You can't just attack and smash your way to victory with them. You more or less need to focus long game and objectives you were talking about. A warband. Kaken, War Machine has become a toxic environment around here. I'm sorry. I hate hearing that. That hurts my heart. For what it's worth, they are talking about putting out a whole new war game. They're going to be doing this Warcaster game, which is a sci-fi. So, let's see what that do. Ooh. There's a little hair stuck on this guy's. There we go. Hand. Now I want to paint, but it's late here and I'll be awake till 3 if I do so. No, definitely take it easy. If you're to be somewhere in the morning and you need sleep, please go sleep. I wish they included Fire Slayers in place of, I don't know though. In place of the other dwarves, or? Iron Kingdoms is cool, just not something that has interest locally. And that's a huge factor of all of these games, right? Is you need to have a group of people that are willing to give it a shot and invest the time and learn the rules and paint the models and then dedicate themselves to a story. And it seems like with how much people work these days, it's not so easy to do. They chose red, not blue. I mostly got the lore from No Quarter, but they went digital and it didn't keep up. They went digital for a very short period of time and then they just canceled No Quarter altogether, so you're really not missing much of anything, Paul. But it's okay, because once my amazing Iron Kingdoms Adventures comes out, you'll learn so much about the lore. I need to stay excited about this. It's been a lot of work. Almost over-dipped that brush. That's okay, as long as it never reaches the base, you're okay. Nightvault, Shadespire. Shadespire plus magic. Oh, okay. You know, my introduction to it was actually Nightvault, so I just assumed there was magic in all of it. Alright, we're almost there with this guy. Paint some white in. That'd be great. This guy's expression. I mean, come on. How do you... He's so deadite. Okay, what did I miss? I'm just talking about Warcry and RPGs and how they're different from skirmish games that have RPG elements like Kill Team, Blackstone Fortress, and I guess Warcry. Magic Roy, hey, how are you? It's Sepulchral Guard, when did you start an undead army? A few weeks ago. I finished painting my little night haunts, these guys, so I figured why not? I'm already familiar with painting skeleton faces, so let's just jump in and do some more. Basically the logic. But it's been fun. I love the look of these guys, so admittedly I'm kind of getting into it more based on that. I don't know their rules or any of that. I'm just assuming it'll all be fine. It's the responsible way to go, obviously. Okay, I think I've got him pretty well base coated in that. Do I need anything more? So that's going to be kind of a leather here, so that actually can be brown. Because whenever I wash over that with a black wash, it will make it look like a nice brown leather. Which looks like that is in fact his belt, so yes. Just right along there. Models are fantastic for them. One of my favorite skeleton sculpts from GW. Yeah! No, these guys, they've got a look. It's not as generic as when you initially look at them. What are you up to, Wargamer Girl? I'm painting Sepulchral Guard, getting more Shadespire stuff done. And my friend Flo's working on Mollog's Mob, which is gonna look really good. And then my Thorns of the Briar Queen are pretty much done. And then I've got Stormcast Eternals that are done. Flo finished up the Chosen Axes. So I've got a lot of painted models that I'm going to have really soon for this one game that everybody can play. It's going to be great. Siobhan, hey Miranda, did anyone remind you yet that in 1998 The Undertaker threw mankind off Hell in a Cell into a Spanish announcer table? In 1998, I might have actually seen that because my brothers and I actually watched WWE back when it was WWF before like year 2000. I was like 12, so give me a break, but yes. How do they bring their fish to fight with them on land? Nice. Hit like a pro, like a boss. I've not played Fantasy since 5th edition. Redster, welcome to the stream. Thanks for hanging out. Country Gamer, yes, I've been gaming longer than most of you have been alive. 30 years now. That's okay. It's not a shame. It's not a shameful thing. Country, you're welcome. It's for all kinds. I'm glad you've stuck with it. I'm sure you've seen a lot of changes in the industry and like people's approach to it. And like whenever you were doing it when you were really young, was it something that was embarrassing and something you hid? Because a lot of people I talked to who've gamed that long have talked about how that used to be an embarrassing thing, even though everybody's okay with it now. My responsible way is to start an undead army with only Zombicide and Reaper bones. Pretty massive and fraction of the cost. Yes, I am sure. I started a skeleton army after seeing Army of Darkness and have been a fan of Harryhausen's work. Yes. Oh, what the heck. I got some prime zombie harem dancers on my desk ready to go. I'll paint along. Thank you. Welcome to the painting part. Getting stuff done together, guys. It's awesome. Hey, Miranda, you're coming to Nova this year. Probably not. I don't think I'll be able to do any more travel aside from like Valhalla, but for this year, I went really overboard on making this IK RPG, and I really need to finish it. And then, you know, I already spent money going to Adepticon, so probably that's it for me. Bill's Fish. I ran a Dark Heresy campaign for a while, got to dig out my old 40k figures and use them once again. Nice. See, and I'm really curious how well Dark Heresy as like a 40k RPG translates to an RPG, because the world seems so miserable. Like, why would you want to pretend you live in it? Especially if you're working on like a factory planet or something. Like, you don't mean anything. You have no value. There's no value to human life in the Imperium. I mean, unless you're special and in the military. Love Harryhausen and skeletons more than Army of Darkness. Hey there, fellas. Best wishes from Brazil. Welcome, Pedro. It's definitely a fringe thing, and I did have to defend that I was not going to hell or something. That's right! You had to deal with this satanic panic. Oh, man. What an absurd time. My goodness. Oh, and it sucks, because, like, so many books that would probably be valuable now got thrown out and destroyed or burned or whatever because of that stupid era. Kagan started RPGs in 91, 40K in 92. Wow. Yeah, we didn't run around admitting to lots of people that we played war games. That's what I figured. Started 40K in February, but have known the game for 25 years. Wow. Jen, 30 years. That would be the hubby. His stuff from the 90s. My gaming's about 4 years old. Yep. It's crazy. And it seems like the last 10 years is really when it's gotten a lot more mainstream, and then even more so in the last, like, 5 years. So, kind of a fun time. Saw you went to mini Wargaming to RP Fat Jill Valentine. Oh, yeah. It was so awesome. Love that costume. I'm so happy with how that turned out. And I got to help with their 40K Resident Evil campaign, so that was awesome. Alright, and now we're painting bone. Bone on top of these. And now it's gonna look like a skeleton. Yes, I know it's skeleton, but it's so much more fun to say skeleton. I wonder if I should have brown washed this first. Whew. So much talk about deadites now. I have to watch Evil Dead. Did you see Ash vs. the Evil Dead? Did you ever see the TV show on Starz? That was freaking hilarious. Oh my gosh, they did such a good job, like, keeping that character exactly the same. You know, much to Ash's detriment, but it's hilarious to watch. Started painting before gaming back in 90. Just came to say hi. Hey, Cody. Good to see you. See you later. I remember that Sinbad movie. Did you guys watch, was it Mazes and, oh my god, the Tom Hanks movie about how gaming is evil. This is really thick. Let's loosen that up a bit. I remember playing the Inquisition. Go to depressing worlds, meet corrupted people, kill them. When I worked in a comic store near the end of that panic, we would occasionally get a "this is satanic." We were told to tell them, if you feel that way, please feel free to buy it and burn it. I know, right? So for a period of time, I lived in Oklahoma, which was not a fun experience for me, but I worked in a bookstore back when they were getting ready to release Harry Potter Book 7. And I was just shocked to see people actually come into the store and claim that these books were satanic. Like, I thought it was a joke. It sounded like you're being pranked, because people don't really talk like that. Was my mind on that. And, yeah. It was interesting. My goodness. Get this brown, or this ivory here over a little cleaner. The nice thing about, you know, deadites running around is it's not like their bones have to look clean, because, you know, if they were raised dead, they probably aren't that concerned about it. Ash vs. Evil Dead is awesome. Skeleton, that's right. Speaking of Tom Hanks, are you going to see the Mr. Rogers movie? Yes, I love Mr. Rogers. There was a documentary a while back about him, and it totally made me cry. And I remember listening to him growing up, and sort of one of those amazing figures in history, so I will definitely support that. And I think Tom Hanks will do a good job. I like him in the historical roles, like when he played Sully for the guy who landed that airplane in the Hudson, and when he played Captain Phillips when the cargo ship was being taken ransom. Like, I really like the way he portrays those stoic characters who are just good people. He's also really good in Bridge of Spies. Yep, I'm a Tom Hanks fan. I'll go see it. Now I say that, I see like basically anything. Yesterday I went and saw the movie Midsummer. That was an exceptionally self-indulgent movie. So, you know, will I go see a movie? Yeah. Will I think I like a movie? That's a little different. But I think the Mr. Rogers movie will be pretty good. I think they'll do a good job with it. Are you gonna paint zombies next? I have ghosts, and I have my deadites. And I don't have zombies. Pretty sure I don't have zombies. At this moment, alright, that's looking really good. You see why the brown base coat is kind of still showing through under that? Kind of gives you a, you can see the depth of his rib cage there. That's exactly the effect I want. Just need to get up in there though. Oh my goodness, there's so many. Howdy, you coming back to visit us at Rumble next year? Also, any word on the IKRPG series? So, yes, you guys at Rumble are amazing, wonderful hosts, and you guys are super fun. And I'm still working on the video to actually recap it. I'm sorry, I've been just totally behind, but that video will be coming out. And then the IKRPG series is just in the works. I'm getting illustrations done, which is the biggest slowdown. So I'm working on that, and then I'll announce it when I'm closer, I guess. That's all I can really say at this point. Don't want to make any any promises I can't keep on that. I agree that it's really become more mainstream. It could easily be said about the retail strategy of GW. We even had books of matches to give them. Oh my gosh. That's an excellent troll. But you don't forget, guys, Gary Gygax, who started all the way before anybody's time. That's right. What did you say? It was chainmail first, right? And then Wargames, I mean, that goes back to H.G. Wells. Any thoughts on Top Gun 2? Is that in your wheelhouse at all? I saw Iron Eagle for the first time, like, a month ago. I freaking loved it. And I loved Top Gun. Like, whatever reason that type of movie, you know, the hotshot pilot, and then he's, you know, challenged morally or emotionally and taxed, you know, to his end. And yes, I'm totally on board for it. Now, I have no expectation one way or the other on it, because whenever, like, and I was telling Paul this the other day, like, we've been through so many reboots and so many retellings and remakes of stories at this point that my general knee-jerk reaction to any of it is, oh, sure. Should it get done? Should it be made? Is it respectful? Are they going to do it right? I have no idea. I usually don't start from a place of high confidence on that. But, you know, Tom Cruise is, love him or hate him, he is a good actor. He's generally, like, charismatic in his roles. He was amazing in Tropic Thunder. And, so we'll see. Although I have been seeing the memes go around about who you know, who's not excited about Top Gun 2. It's a picture of Goose. It made me sad. And then I liked it, because it's hilarious. So yeah, there's that. So we'll see. What was the other one? There were two. Oh my gosh. Did you guys see the previews for Cats? What on earth is that? They're actually making a movie for furries. Like, they really just, that's hit mainstream enough too. It's amazing. Yes, yes, I know it was a Broadway musical. I actually saw the Broadway musical back when they still played it. Because I was a little kid and I was like, cats are cool! And then I was in the play and I'm like, this is just a ballet and singing. This isn't about cats at all. Because, you know, kid. But it is eerie and makes me uncomfortable. Watching these faces sort of floating on the actors' bodies, and everybody's got these animated ears, and it's unsettling. Yeah, we're gonna get that in there too. I'm a bone man, made of skeleton bones. Any flowers on this model? No. I know, it's sad. And I don't have any skill with green stuff, so I can't even put flowers on them. They're just wandering around on gray rocks. Oh, definitely I'm Mr. Rogers. Big fan of the rule of 2 Rogers. Oh yeah, how like Captain America goes back in time and then he ends up being the Mr. Rogers we know. I worked at a huge supermarket when Order of the Phoenix was released. We were told if anyone approached the books with pallets, we'd get fired. Oh, books on the pallets, we'd get fired. Wow. I used to love going up to religious folk who'd come to Athena games where we used to have a copy of The Lost and the Damned. Oh my god, after Hereditary, I'm still waiting for Midsummer to be released in my country. Well, it's interesting. And if you liked Hereditary, like, this definitely has that feel to it. How many more spoopy mans are you painting for the Great Skeleton War? Well, the plan is 7. Hell Knight, welcome. Firebirds with Nicolas Cage. Just noticed the border around your video is a War Machine card. I know, clever, right? I did that one afternoon before starting. I was trying to make this look prettier, and so I grabbed that. Folks outside the USA don't cry about whether or not gaming is the devil. Hundreds of years of war will have that effect on slapping the self-righteousness out of you. Fair, even then, gosh, that seems like that had to have been a smallish sect of people. Like, what a bizarre time that must have been. Cats, I think the world owes an apology to the Sonic team. Mandragora, I should get your advice. When you have 4+ minis, all the same model, do you try to make them look different from each other? Well, if you have something like Kill Team, you probably ought to, because you're going to have to differentiate their skills as they move on. If you're just talking about general army mans, like you've got a unit of dudes, I wouldn't bother. So it's a little bit where it depends. And even in the case of Kill Team, my personal default would probably just be to number the bases. So rather than make the model so terribly unique, unless I was really excited to do that for some reason, but for me, making a model more unique kind of runs at odds with getting the model done, and I will always choose to get the model done. So that's my possibly terrible advice. And 2-4 zombie dancers done. Yeah, like none are done. You know, when Winston was talking to Ray about the end of the world in Ghostbusters, he was foreseeing the Cats trailer. That's right. The rule of 2 Rogers. Would Fred or Steve Rogers approve? Then do it. If they both disapprove, then don't do it. It's a fair rule. Probably pretty reasonable, honestly. Certainly is more helpful than harmful. What is that thing below the model? Are you talking about this handy-dandy model holder? This thing's awesome. I got it for like $8 from the game store, and it's nice because, you know, especially in the summer, your hands, they get sweaty, and you're holding the model, and you're wiping the paint off as you work on it, and this has been lovely. You can't paint the base with it, but, I mean, that's a pretty minor problem, so. Why hasn't there been a cat-themed GW model yet? No one would, who would buy it? Well, I guess you'd like Top Gun 2. I probably will like Top Gun 2. If it hits all the beats. Like when they remade Power Rangers, I was all about it. I thought that was awesome. And, you know, when they brought out another sequel, like a way later sequel of Men in Black, not the new one, not Men in Black International, but the one that still had Tommy Lee Jones and had Josh Brolin as young Tommy Lee Jones, I thought that was fine. So yeah, I guess for the most part I'm pretty open-minded on that. Skeleton Florist should be the next army. If they get special rules for that, I think that's completely appropriate. Paul, 9 Gene Stealers for Kill Team, all the same. I put a dot of paint and a different color on each base somewhere. There you go. Will we be seeing any battle reports in the future? Yeah, I do have a Kill Team battle report that's almost ready to go. So I've got a Route 66 battle, or like recap that I want to get done. And I've got the Adepticon dioramas that I want to get done. And then I've got a Kill Team game that I want to get done. I have all of this stuff on my computer that I need to edit. And then I've had to work a lot lately, so. And then the IKRPG probably just, like, it sounds like the most overwhelming job in the world, and that's because it is. So it's been taking all my time. But yes, they will happen. I used to get trained on the F-18 Hornets in '92. Wow, that's awesome. It's a little different. There's zombie dancing girls. It's all the fun of painting a mini combined with the fun of picking a cool dress for a woman. So when you're talking about that, when there's like a strong stylistic theme, like if you think of like real girls going out and doing that, they'd all wear different color dresses. I liked the new Power Rangers movie. Thank you. Right? It was like self-aware and pretty sharp. Lions are technically a slave race for the Tau. The handle and the paint pot are my faves. Yep, and I've got the paint pot too because it's got this nice wide base so that you can't just tap your glass and send water flying everywhere. JR, I always go for uniquely done minis. That being said, my friends always make fun of me for only getting 3 a month finished. But you work at your own pace. I definitely say don't put yourself in a position where you have to repaint a model. I will say, your Space Hulk minis are pretty awesome. I wish I could take credit for that, but that was my friend Flo, and someone else who painted all those. And yes, they are gorgeous. Oh gosh, Space Hulk was so... that's actually probably my favorite of the battle reports as far as the style and the music and the way we were able to get everything kind of inked out in it, or it was just showing the isolation of the board. Oh, man, I can't wait to do those again. So is there someone you know that can do all the editing for your videos? Sure, probably can't afford them though, so I'll just have to get it in. Plus, I know how to edit. I know how I want it to look, so it sort of affects my style if I have somebody else editing my stuff. And so, I don't know. Not super on board for that. Like, if I had more of an output, I might be more open to it, but right now it's sort of my art, as it were. Get that guy. See if we can get your face painted up a little bit. Happy skeleton man. I actually have some Reaper Mouseling Space Marines, thinking of painting them as an Ultramarine, Crimson Fist, Blood Angel, Dark Templar, trying to figure out a pink chapter. Okay. As far as miniature games go, and this is for the D&D stuff specifically, and I saw this in the game store the other day, and I didn't get them, but I did buy them for somebody because I think it's actually really inspiring. Called Dungeons and Doggies, and yes, I know it sounds like it's designed for little girls, and it probably is, but it worked, and I think they're awesome. And person who got them actually is probably going to start, like, actually play a D&D game with that because those models were so cute. So that was kind of a recent model thing I noticed. Editing takes more time than you think. Thank you, Jen. You know what's up. Halfway through editing a game with my son that I'm halfway through playing as well. I feel like I'm ahead of the curve. There you go. And you end up, like, the more you do it, you can kind of streamline some of the processing camera. But there's a lot of takes and a lot of stuff in my videos that you don't see because it hits the cutting room floor. Like, we'll have this model move forward 6 inches. We'll have them move forward 6 inches again. Let's get them from this angle. It's a much better angle. And so there's a lot of sorting that out whenever I'm editing. So if you guys hear birds, it is because there is a nest right outside my window of little baby birds. And the little baby birds are getting fed by the mom, even though it's almost dark out. I guess they're bedding down for the night, so you hear them kind of yelling at their mom. It's so cute. And then you're probably also hearing the exhaust of obnoxious cars driving around. That's exactly what's scary. Hasn't been in waiting outside a dressing room. Waiting for a girl spending 2 hours in 10 plus years. That is an awful experience. I'm sorry you had to go through that ever. Thank you, Space Wolves. Did I miss some of your earlier stuff? Sorry. Oh, yeah. Would be willing to make a class project this school year for video editing. No? True DOA, if you can do it yourself, then why pay someone? Well, there's multiple approaches on that, but again, I don't think they'll do what I do, because once you're paying someone to do it, then their general goal, and there's exceptions of course, is just to get it done as quickly as possible, and then it just, if I'm unhappy with it, then I really feel like that money is wasted. Oh gosh, I could have done that, you know? I'm sure you've had that experience. Okay, did one pink, one purple, gonna make one blue and green, and then the live one who's getting rescued is gold dressed. Okay, well, sounds like you got all your colors picked out then. Have you seen the recent Captain Planetfall scheme for the Space Marine? No, I think I missed that one. I really want to start a Warhammer army again. If not to play, just for the creative aspect of it. I wish Warhammer Fantasy was still going on. I really want to make a Femir army. Are you just, like, super not interested in Age of Sigmar, or just this? I mean, I say this being completely ignorant of AOS. I mean, these are the AOS models I'm gonna have, you know? So I don't know the Femir. But are you not interested in them? AOS, I mean. Some of my videos where I record the first 10 minutes of a video game have so many takes because I missed something or did it wrong. Well, Paul, you also overthink things a little tiny bit and probably psych yourself out. But your videos are entertaining and fun to watch, so, you know, kudos on that. I guess it does work at the end of the day for you. Oh my goodness, I'm getting these skeletons painted. Getting them done. At least I don't have to do like the massive amount of dry brushing I had to for all those thorns. That was something. Happy deadites. Happy eating the brains of the living. Do deadites do that? They just seem like they were just chaotic jerks. Like, I don't think they cared. I don't think they needed brains. I don't think they needed anything. I mean, other than to grief Ash. Sam Raimi's approach to it is so awesome. Did you guys ever see the movie Drag Me to Hell? It's sort of an unofficial sequel, spiritual successor in a lot of ways. A lot of people didn't like it, but I thought it was quite good. little iron crown there. Yeah, I'm gonna get that one. I shall. I did hear rumors of a female return. Oh, there you go. Birds that ride motorcycles. I just can't get into motorcycle stuff. I don't like the Marines on motorcycles. I don't like orcs on motorcycles. Although, maybe sisters should get bikes. Maybe that should be a thing. Sounds legit. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll get some good transports. They haven't announced any of that stuff. And like, here's the new models. And they're just wait and see every time they throw the new sculpts out. Or I guess they're just CG models. And I know Norn Queen was really kind of tearing into them a bit about the Photoshop work on it. But if they have the opportunities to do last minute touch-ups, I guess they might as well keep it in that form for the moment. If they do, I don't know. My goodness, this is so sloppy. It's a sloppy skeleton, that's what's happening here. He only cares so much. Ha-ha! He's got a club. He looks pretty good, actually. I find it funny and I have a much less successful YouTube channel. I usually spend an hour editing a 10-minute video. That's normal. I mean, live TV, improv, I mean, even a lot of that, well, live TV doesn't have editing, obviously, but even the improv stuff they work on, there's a ton of editing. It's just sort of the nature of it, because there's so much chaff, if you will, on a video. And especially if you're doing a battle report, you've really got to make the conscious decision as to whether or not you are going to include all the talking. And you know, it works for some, and then it doesn't work so much for others. And so, but if you are going to include the talking, then you're, you know, maybe looking to make sure that people aren't saying anything that makes them sound bad or foolish or something. And if you're cutting out all the talking, then you're writing a script or talking over it to explain what's happening, and that takes a massive amount of time. So, but yes, editing, generically speaking, it's always really fun when you start, because it makes you feel like you can do so many things, and then after you've edited for a few years, you're like, yeah, this is okay. It's fine. It's a lot of work. How can I shortcut this? Checking in from Saudi Arabia. Wow, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you joining the stream. What color are you going to make the armor of these skellies? They are going to be gunmetal gray. Gunmetal gray by Folkar. Those metallics, they work great, so why would I not use them? Let's get a little bit of water into this paint pot here. Your minis are looking great. Thank you. I figure if I just keep working them, hopefully they survive my approach. I do tend to try to go too fast, and it can backfire. But so far, it's been pretty good. Good conversation, good company for me, and then getting models painted. It's really quite a nice setup for me. So again, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Mandragora, are you still getting some stuff painted? There he is, yelling at the camera. I'm a skeleton. I'm a deadite. So awesome. They're so cute. Why are skeletons so cute? Go. Media glitch. Why, hello there. How are you doing? We need to hang out again. We need to have another live stream. Sorry I missed that last one. Just had to be out of town. I think more of these YouTube videos need Evil Dead jump cuts and zoom-ins. It did inspire my Voodoo Doll Dave video. I'm sure if any of you guys have seen that. It's a very recognizable shot. And I have wondered, like, if I were to film a battle report, like a goofy horror like that, if it would come across, or if people would just not get it and think it was a waste of time. Because sometimes, you know, you put something out there and you're like, see this artistic thing, aren't I being clever? And people are like, you're dumb. So, I don't know. Not to say that stops me, but it's something I think about. I miss doing skits. Man, editing skits, now that's something. One, it's super fun, but oh my gosh, the amount of planning for that is so much more than, like, a battle report's a process. You know, people come in, they play their game, you're recording the game, just whatever happens, and then you sort of follow up from there. But a skit, specific thing that needs to happen, there's timing, especially if you're trying to be silly. Oof, so much work. My happy screen. Amazing how well you do with cheap paints. It's just time. I think higher quality paints have better coverage, and so you'll probably paint with them faster, but you can get there with cheap paints. Editing videos for YouTube is something I've finally gotten figured out. Rendering the videos, however, that is just a processing thing, processing setup, my friend. Warhammer Fantasy is strong in my area. Age of Sigmar is cooler than 40k. Wow, it's interesting. It's definitely not the case in Albuquerque. Just living life to its fullest. Thought I would stop in and say hello before I getting into all this work. It's fair. Appreciate you stopping by, man. Maybe I do need to look into Age of Sigmar a bit. Maybe. This man did basic skin work for the last zombie. Now I have 2 picks paints for the first dress, starting with green. And my green paint is a dried block in a tube. Oh no. Oh gosh. Warhammer Fantasy Battle forever. AOS is okay, but miss me my Warhammer Fantasy. But I stick with my legions because I think Lehman Russ will be back as a werewolf. Can you say Circulaboros? Alurian. Hi Miranda's. In one of your videos you mentioned that you have Sisters of Battle. Have you seen, or are you excited about the new plastic releases? I have seen. I am excited about a lot of them. I was talking earlier about the Repentia models. I was not liking those a lot. Just didn't really enjoy the style of whatever they were doing. I don't know if I'd play Repentia anyway. That would really depend a lot on the rules. And I was never really good at running Fanatics, just as a general playstyle for me. So we'll see. But yeah, the Seraphim are looking great. The General Sisters are looking great. I'm excited for all of that. I'm not going to replace any of my Metal Sisters because I've had them so long, and you know, once you get around to painting all that stuff, you really, really don't want to just go replacing stuff. So these, they will all work in harmony together. And you know, I know a lot of folks who got into Sisters who either couldn't get a hold of the original sculpts because that was an issue forever, or didn't like them. Just went with the Toughest Girls in the Galaxy models, and those are still extremely competitive. So I don't know how much they're necessarily gonna take market share away from the people who've already kind of been substituting as Sisters of Battle for years at this point. What do you think of them? Done some good skits though. You're very good in that Zelda skit that one time. Oh yes, I had my death scene. That was amazing. Oh, gotta get the back here. That was quite fun. Funny enough, that whole setup was in my living room. And those sets that we use for that are on the Tabletop Heroes set for the IKRPG show. So, Easter egg. But yeah, skits are super fun. They're hard to do alone too, though. It's like you really need people with you. There we go. Roaring skeleton, man. Maybe get a little bit of a little midsection there. All right, look at that. Three dudes. That's right, you listened to Joel there. Hit that like button. Thanks for hanging out, Animus. Appreciate it. Editing can be rough. Yes, it can. I'm guessing that pack of a few comics I sent you will either turn up in about 6 months or never. No, I'm so sorry. Any thoughts on the BattleTech Kickstarter? Not yet. I know a bunch of people around here play BattleTech, but I never, I haven't played it. And it does seem like it was making a resurgence. It was present at Adepticon this year, and there was this awesome guy in the gaming hall who had these upsized ones. He might have been working with the Kickstarter folks for that, I'm not sure. But no, I haven't seen it. We'll just wait and see. There's so many games, can't keep up with them all. After watching many Wargaming, etc., it inspired me to game again. Went to Warhammer World last weekend. Think I'm back on Plastic Crack. Happy for you, but maybe kind of sad for you if that's how you look at it. Valerian, I wasn't a fan of the existing Repentia, but not liking the aesthetics of these new sculpts either. I got started with classic Celestine, and I loved the old Exorcist tanks. Right? With the 4-pound white metal organs. Yeah, those are great. So many layers of yellow. Popping down to Warhammer. That's right. Excuse my ignorance, but I don't recognize the army you're painting. Is it Warhammer? Yeah, it's part of Shadespire. So it's actually this box here for Shadespire. Warhammer Underworld, Shadespire, Sepulchral Guard. So there's 7 dudes from my warband who will be used for Shadespire games, which I will be streaming soon. As soon as that light breaks down. Love the Kickstarter that's live now. Nice. Alright, I'll have to check out what's going on with BattleTech, I guess. Kickstarter hit 1 million in less than a week. So that's an interesting example of, you know, a game that really hasn't constantly been changing its rules, still being fine in the world. Let me take a look at where I need these guys to look. So, you've got red, and you've got black leather, and you've got black leather, and you've got black leather. Oh, okay. Well, these will be pretty simple then. Raging Heroes, of course. If I hadn't run out of primer, I'd be painting their armor in metal right now instead of suffering through my apparently dried up collection of paints. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's rough. Good night, my friend. I have to get editing these Game-O expos. Oh, yeah, definitely. Have fun, man. Take care. Thanks for popping in. I really do appreciate it. BattleTech is in their year 35 refresh, which, other than model redesigns, is just compiling over 3 decades of errata into a new updated rulebook. People are fine with it. It hits exactly the right audience, and I know for a lot of people it's still a model count, so. Also grabbed one of the, yes, thank you for that, Paul. I have an Eldar Revenant Titan from Armorcast. I painted it by hand and took 4 coats of paint to get the finish I was looking for. Now it's in a display case. You're not gonna play with it? Ah. BattleTech broke my heart. I collected Mech Warrior Dark Age, and after that I'm done. Oh. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Whoa. Sorry, Skeleton Man. Let's get some more base coats done. Got half an hour to try and finish this. I picked 3. Hopefully that wasn't too aggressive, because last time I definitely bit off more than I could chew. So this is going to be that leathery black, so I was going to go over with my lovely wrought iron color, which when black washed looks perfectly like metal, or I'm sorry, looks perfectly like black leather. Looks great, so I've been very happy with that color. So we're going to do that, and then this is going to be brown, and this is going to be metal. So let's see, where to start? We'll just start with the dark one. I always felt MDA did a misstep by not making them the same scale as the old game. Yeah, it's always a thing. No gaming for years, huh? But you enjoy the painting, right? So I guess you've just got like display cases full of all the stuff you've been working in. And sometimes your paint does this lovely thing. It's like snot. Beautiful. Whatever. And we're just gonna put a little bit of water in that and it'll be fine. I mean, what am I gonna say? I paid 50 cents for this paint. I went several years trying to replicate AV metal schemes. I'm nearly there. Oh, well, awesome. Go you then, keep doing it. All right, so this is the color that kind of goes on like, it's hard to tell from the camera from the looks of it, but it has almost a green tint to it. So it's not a full black. It's like a gray-green. And for whatever reason, when a black wash goes over that, it darkens it perfectly to look like leather, but leather with a texture, as opposed to when you just paint a model straight black and it becomes a negative space. So that's my 50-cent tip on that. This is pleasant though. It's like the peaceful part of my week, getting to do this. Well, I guess, Miranda, less is more when you paint skeletons. I mean, you can't go wrong with just dry brushing, right? Although these guys are going to get a black wash all over, including on the skeleton parts, and then I'm gonna re-highlight, dry brush up the actual skeleton faces, and then they should be good, or, you know, bones, I should say. Wow, that's totally blown out image. Their scale was all over the place. Remember the infamous massive shadow cat 2? It was bigger than Atlas. Ooh, I was not part of all this drama. But that does seem like a really foolish mistake for a game company to make. Not to say I haven't seen it in other game companies, but generally you think they'd... like, you do wonder where the QC was when that happens. Unless it's GW and they're like, no, it's a Primaris. Whatever. So far, your work looks very nice. Why, thank you. It's been... These little deadites make me so happy. Wrought iron color is a good find. One brand has an off-black color called tire rubber I'd like to get a hold of. Yeah, exactly. If you get like just something that's an off-black that almost seems too light to start, then you null oil over that, it's probably going to give you the same effect as what I'm getting, would be my guess. I don't know how important that green tone is in this paint. I don't know if that's really what's setting it off, if you will, but I've just been so happy with it. There we go. This kid's is never that good. Fair enough. Hey, that looks like a skeleton from Hero Quest. No, it's a completely original model. I don't even know what you're talking about. Go with the Grim Skull sculpts. The best other sisters on the miniature biz. Oh, okay, I'll have to check those out. 1 300-ish scale for Battletech. The new redesigns are closer in scale. Still think a clicks-based Battlefleet Gothic game would be cool. Interesting. Like the way HeroClix works for Battlefield Gothic game. I've owned the video game for that for probably more than a year now. I've never played it. I've watched Alexis play it, and then she's really good at it, and then it intimidates me and I don't play. So, you know. But it always looks really cool. I freaking love the way those spaceships look. Hee hee. Oh no, skeleton man. Well, it's been fun. Time to go and drain the DVR. Bills, thanks for hanging out, man. Take care. Have a great night. Thankfully, when I got back into painting, GW had changed CEO and told the staff to just chat with people and stop hard selling. Well, I'm glad your experience, Paul, was good, especially since you're going back. Maybe they'll recognize you. Hopefully they won't side-eye you as hard as they did last time. You know, watch your wardrobe. I'm painting a little frock. Lovely. Well, with no green, I've painted as much as I can for this lot, and they look lousy. But better than just being primed black at my desk. It's true. Painted model is generally going to be better than an unpainted model, even if it's not exactly the way you want it. Any inside scoop on when 9th edition will roll around, or if? 9th edition 40K? Like, I get any inside information? It's about time, though, isn't it? I mean, hasn't 8th been around longer than 7th was at this point? So, just based on the trend, I would imagine it'll be... What do you guys think? Like another year, maybe? Because they're getting ready to do this whole massive release of Sisters. Do you think they'd do that and then turn around and say, oh, and new edition's dropping, guys? Okay, thanks. You think that is how they would do that, or would they give it more time? Because they've had a lot of releases. Nice on that Grim Skill Minis. Feminine, but not Fantasy Warrior, if you get what I mean. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know the answer on that. Like, I kind of hope not, because I've been really happy with the 8th edition rules. I know them, and I don't want to learn the rules again, and, you know, pick up the new book and practice with that again, and, I don't know, see how everything now balances out, and how it affects all the codexes, and, like, it's always such a pain whenever editions change. So, like, I hope not, but realistically they probably will. I just don't know when, and if the model release schedule has any impact on that. So, you can go to Warhammer World and ask, I'm sure. I'm sure they'll tell you. Oh, they did that with Gene Stealer Cult. Did they? Was that released in 7th? Is that? Are they that old? They did that before. They absolutely dropped then Ruin Sisters that last time with the web decks. Oh my gosh, that was a thing, wasn't it? They're releasing models now, and they're going to want to sell those models, so do you think that would be the same tactic? Rumor has it, unless they do a whole rewrite, they're planning on just doing chapter-approved changes, which I'd be fine with. Some point adjustments, some FAQ stuff, just tweak it a little bit. I think the game's fine. I don't know that it really needs a whole revamp. But I just don't know. To my knowledge, they might do a 2.0 8th edition, but no 9th. Huh. Jay, I totally understand. I agree. Look at AOS. 40K will have similar rule changes. I think there have been too many re-release codices coming out in the last 6 months. Plus, like Miranda said, the sisters aren't out yet unless their codex appears and a new edition. We're a world guy. Do not put any exhibit pictures on YouTube. I won't. Guy glares them. Yes, exactly. I have been very well behaved. Just saying. I'm very good at following rules. We're wargamers. It's what we do. We follow rules. Why is this suspicious? That was a funny story though, Paul. So even as you can see from the dried look on it, it already looks kind of leathery, and then the Nuln Oil is going to give it a nice shine. So it'll be so pretty when it's done. It's going to have just this lovely little frocky cloak over his face. It will be perfect. Now I've got to get into this little tiny detail part right there. Clean up that line. Funny enough, I actually avoided caffeine all day today because I didn't want shaky hand. Ta-da! Now they look mostly painted already. Still betting on Kill Team Full Edition for Christmas. All books in one, plus White Dwarf editions, plus Sisters. That would be a mighty Christmas thing. When you think about all the terrain objectives and special object trend, 40K did that with like a dozen Chaos and Skaven stuff, and even Privateer did that with their Heavy Industries exclusives. The special object trend, I assume you're talking about, like in Privateer's case, they have the beer wagon thing for the Trollbloods, and like I think Scar, her new edition, is a black Heavy Industries one. So it's them doing Forge World type of stuff. As far as 40K and the special terrain objectives, I like war games moving more toward terrain objectives. Yeah. Just because in my mind, then this is what I think of when I think of war games, is that you are fighting for something. Not a freaking circle or a square, and not just bludgeoning each other to death, but you are fighting for a position, for an object, for an item, for a period of time. And so the terrain objectives, I think, fulfill that in a lot of ways, and so I prefer them, and it forces you to play a little bit differently. And I'm saying that as the type of player who does want to just run across the board and murder like the opponent. It's like, I need to do better. I need to like get familiar with taking objectives and, you know, considering the strategy of how long I need to hold a position and where I need to be, because I think that just makes you a better player. Chaos needed 2 second codex, to be honest. It's a living rule set, so expect more. Fair enough. Well, Paul, not only do I respect you, but I just wouldn't do that anyway, because it's not good form. It was nice to stop even for a bit. YouTube finally put one of your videos on my recommend. Yay! Have fun finishing those models. Time for me to fight off this fever or sleep. Oh no, I hope you feel better. Make sure to drink a lot of water before you fall asleep. You're gonna be burning that up, so don't get yourself dehydrated. Take care. Special objectives are awesome if you're kith bashing terrain or orcs. This is true. You know what's up there, Chronic. You're absolutely right. And yes, you can do some really fun stuff with terrain. And orcs just, you know, they just slap things on other things and it magically works. The life of an orc. They're hilarious. Yeah, they're pretty protective, no picks, yeah. Your murder strategy involves hitting people with a baseball bat so that they fly off into the sea. Okay, you know what? You need to, at some point, get over your worms game, like, anger. It's not my fault that your little dude just happens to sit in the perfect spot. Like, I'm not gonna not do the thing that's gonna win the game. Paul. So we played Worms WMD. We haven't in a while because I just haven't been around, but my goodness, that game is hilarious. Love everything about those goofy little worms. And then there's this baseball, and you can run up to your opponent and, you know, home run them into the sea, which, you know, instantly kills them. So, you know, it's a sound strategy, I'd say. Worms, Armageddon, Worms, Weapons of Mass Destruction, Worms WMD for Steam is what I played on. Unfortunately, War Machine is dead in St. Louis. I liked it a lot. Most game stores here can't sell it. Most people complained about new rules. To whatever end, the community just dried up. Sorry. What drew you to the Sepulchral Guard Ghosty Boys for your Shadespire team? I haven't played, but figured I would adapt to my existing High Elves forces. So, I tried Shadespire originally back at last year in Valhalla, and I got to play the Chosen Axes, and they were awesome. Like, those guys are tough as nails and extremely deadly. So, I had a good time. I won, because I usually have amazing beginner's luck. And it was, like, I didn't really find much issue with Shadespire the way a lot of people did, because I talked to some people about, you know, what they liked or didn't like about it, and a lot of it came down to the card stuff, which I understand. Like, card deck building isn't a strength of mine at all, and a lot of the game does revolve around that. So, but I sort of decided that I wanted a fun game to stream, and Shadespire had some really good looking models, and so I just sort of jumped in with both feet. And so when I got them, I started with the Night Vault, and Stormcast Eternals definitely looked super cool. It's paladin looking dudes. But I really liked the little flowy ghosty things. Like, I think I liked just their flowy nature, because I play so many armies that are just straight normal military, and I never get to play, like, you know, a girl with a flowy dress. I mean, she's awesome looking. So I kind of just wanted to do that and enjoy that. So that's, like, just aesthetics. It's literally the only reason. And then I played with them, and I won my first game, and then I didn't. I murdered everything in my first game and then lost on objectives. So, again, gotta consider the strategy. But they were fun. I liked their special abilities. I never played guys with special abilities. They can go through hexes and other models, and they can go through occupied hexes or lethal hexes and stuff like that. So I thought that was just kind of a fun way of playing. So that's really the extent. And then the Sepulchral Guard is because they ally, and they're all part of the undead. So, and they're deadites. Look at these guys. He's got this awesome mace, yelling. Got a sweet old shield there. I mean, these guys look amazing. And I play generally more straight-laced characters and models, and so this is me cutting loose and just exploring something different. War Machine still has a strong community here up north. That's good. And I know for some people it grew, and for some people it died. And, some places stayed stable with it. It really is just going to depend on what the meta was really wanting out of it. If they were looking forward to 3rd edition, or if you had a bunch of people who were kind of on the fence. You saw a lot of that here. People who were on the fence waiting to see what 3rd edition did. Didn't like the rules and just walked away from it completely. But there's definitely still people who play and still enjoy it and keep up with all the changes. And that's the part where it's really hard for me. Keeping up with the changes is a challenge, to say the least. And I've kind of taken a more passive role in just playing anyway, so if you do that in War Machine, it just means you're going to lose every game all the time, so not making me super excited to just go play. For the record, the Worms WMD scoreboard is about Miranda 15 me. You've won more than once, probably, maybe. The original hard drives from Team 17 were recently found along with the Amiga computer used to make the cutscenes. They all worked. What are you talking about? Was Miranda the type to cluster bomb spam? Wormahorse doesn't have love in Missouri had the same problem. It must be flowy robes. Right. They're so great. Oh, well, okay, so let's just compare for a second. So here's the Briar Queen, right? She's got, this whole flowing thing going on. She's got her cloak on top of what is obviously a dress. There's little flowers there at the end of her dress. She shoots out like vines, all Evil Dead style, at you. And it's hard to tell, but those are purple flowers. And she just overall looks cool. Like, she's got this cool, wispy, spectre-y look instead of just normal military man with gun, which is what I normally play. So true about objectives. Thanks, Country Amy, for hanging out. Really appreciate your time. Have a great night. Get some rest. What are your thoughts on Necromunda? Relate getting to it. Painting them was a lot of fun as well. There's a really great Kickstarter that has terrain for skirmish games, Tinker Turf, that helped make the games even better. Tinker Turf? I haven't heard of that one. I haven't looked at Necromunda. That's the one with all the gang warfare, right? Where you're from a hive city and you play gangs. I haven't given it a chance, so I couldn't really say for sure on it. I'd be willing to give it a chance, but so far it's not like so super appealing. And so I don't know, like the whole gang thing, again, it goes back to like living in the world of 40K seems awful. Actually living in it. And I feel like Necromunda might be a little too much of that for me. But I would definitely give it a chance. I guess right before we end it here with my somewhat progressed dudes, I have a cool thing to show you guys. So last week I showed you a small snippet video of this 3D print for a sister's costume that's being worked on for me. And I guess never mind. It was really cool. I'm still working on it. Ooh. I've given up on hordes myself at this point. I decided only to collect Tharn so I have genetic barbarians for any game diorama I want to set up. Valid. I thought it was on fire here. Oh, the Song of Ice and Fire. Unless I'm playing for the nights to watch. Flowers, really, Jake? And flowers. Well, so I was talking about flowers a lot last week. I did enjoy painting the flowers, so that's probably the only reason Jay's mentioning it. And they are good. It's nice to see GW getting out of the box with some of the new sculpts, like the ghosts spilling off their own capes. I don't have him up here, but the other guy who has like the cage over his face and he's holding these keys and a candle. Like, amazing model. 40K is like, yes, I wake up in my bed. Whoa. It has a skull carved into it. Then I send my kids to kindergarten where they're indoctrinated. An animated corpse servitor walks the dog. If you can even live that nicely. That's probably like on a pleasure planet. I enjoyed Necromunda. I mostly played the Orlocks. I also have some Dillac. I'd give Necromunda a chance if I thought Enforcers were a full faction. Dread Army! Nothing wrong with flowers, but Jen beats us with her ghosts, and those flowers give me nightmares. I love my deathly roses. This is amazing. Skulls are required. That's true. It's true. Part of what drew me to Sisters was the serenity of Celestine holding doves and the roses blooming out of her sword. I've painted 2 classic metal ones and the new plastic one. Wow, 3 Celestines. Okay, if you guys are kind of fed up with hardcore Shadespire or anything GW, you can always revert your WF models into D&D like I do. Well, yeah, I mean, D&D is pretty open. You can move over, laterally move a lot of models over. We actually question the rules in the skirmish into the games. But I'm setting up a whole table, made it an absolute riot. Ooh. That mini sort of had a Grateful Dead appeal to her. Skeletons with flowers, the whole thing. Yeah, I guess that was kind of their thing, wasn't it? My goodness, yes, with Celestine. Pretty awesome. So you guys know what's up. The new Celestine model does look really nice, but I have the old one already and I don't really want to buy another one. And it took me quite some time to find the wings to kit bash onto her too, so it's sort of an investment at this point. The new one is really quite stunning though. Okay, maybe get some more white on that there. Alright, and he's got his cloak on. Happy skull-eating man. We're probably just gonna about wrap it up here. I'm gonna get what I can on this guy, and then we'll call it good for the night. We'll call it progress. I think we can agree on that. He doesn't have very much to go anyway. JR never thought of that, and I'm a deadhead, and I will never see her the same again. Now she's Casey Jones in my mind. How many games have you played of Underworlds? Are you looking forward to 3rd edition? I've played only a handful of games of Underworlds, so it's all been fine. I did get the expansion card set. Actually, I bought that from Chronic there. To expand on the current game. 3rd edition, I'm open to, but honestly, I now have, I got Nightfall first, and so now I'm going to be playing the original game. So I'm just on 1st and 2nd anyway. So sure. But there isn't anything like I'm super excited about. I feel like I'm catching up in a lot of ways on it too much, so there's a good chance that I'll just wake up one morning and be surprised that there's been a new edition out for a month after I feel like I finally have caught up with playing Shadespire. It's usually how it goes for me. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. And Necromunda too. I guess I'll have to give that one a shot. I just have to see if there's someone playing it. Maybe people have it at Valhalla or something. Oh man, I'm looking forward to some heavy gaming over there between bolt action. I'm probably gonna have some dust representation, and then the 40k territory campaign, and people playing AOS, and people playing all of the mini board games. It's so good. Oh my gosh, I only have 6 minutes. Paint faster. All right. Time for Balthazar Gold, done with yellow. You're making progress, man. Hat Trogdor, the board game. Oh no, Brian, really? Trogdor? Of course he has a game. Of course he does. Great rep. Didn't finish all the zombies, but I did do Dewey and Louie, evil pumpkinhead children. Need grain for Huey. Thanks for the motivation. Well, thank you for hanging out. We started to collect the war bands, plus it gives you all the cards. It's a serious bonus. That is definitely helpful. Runbot is 80% complete. You guys are doing wonderfully. Awesome. See, progress together, guys. All right, one last thing before I go. Now that it's here. So last week I was talking about a sister's costume thingy I'm working on, or having worked on. Let's see here. I think this isn't too loud here, but this was the video I showed last week. This was just all getting printed up for me. Well, let me show you. This current new piece of armor that's completely 3D printed. It's a bracer and it's probably a little bit too big. See if I can't zoom out of it. I'm just gonna move the camera since I guess I'm done painting at this point, since we are going to be wrapping it up. All right. So, this is a piece, which is like a bracer, right? Looking pretty cool. It's a little big because I can slide in and out of it really easy, but yeah. So this thing is solid, like it will take impact. So that's what I'm looking at getting done. I'm so excited. Oh my god, right? I know, isn't it annoying? You're giving Jen expensive ideas. So 3D printers, they're getting cheaper and cheaper. Just saying, just saying. Yes, I'm so excited about it too. This has been years in the making, so. Have a good night. Oh, and I found a green to keep painting or play some WoW. Have a great evening. Oh my gosh, Mandragora, WoW. Like whenever Classic releases, I'm gonna be out of it that day. Just playing all day. Anyway, thank you guys all so much for hanging out for this live stream and painting with me and helping keep me company, because this was really fun. It was really nice getting some progress done and chatting and seeing what you guys are all up to and the progress you're making and talking about the games and showing off some fun stuff. So Guns N' Roses, there you go. Have a good one. We'll be finishing up Critical Role. Nice. All right, so you all have a wonderful evening. Get some rest. Keep up the painting, and we'll see you guys in a week probably. All right, bye.